Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Mark Nelson.
So usually, most years we don't deal with this in mid-July. This is more like what we talk about later in August when the forests are totally dried out. But we've got extremely hot weather. That's the current temp in Portland. It is really hot. We went far above what we had yesterday, 97 degrees, and now we have some lightning working its way up through the state. On top of that hot, dry weather, 97 officially in Portland today was the same in Hillsborough, Aurora, Troutdale, and McMinnville, 98 degrees. And of course, a little hotter. Salem was 99. Now, here's the deal. The cloud cover moved in a little bit earlier, kind of capped the heating at Eugene and Roseburg. I think both locations would have been up into the low 100s. And then, of course, low 100s to the east in the Columbia River Gorge. Nice, of course, along the coastline as well. Now, we had the scorcher today, a first alert weather day. That's why we called it a first alert weather day in the valleys and the gorge. What are we going to see from this point forward? We've got a warmer night ahead, unfortunately, 65 to 68. That's the best we can do for cooling in the city. Rural areas still pretty warm for rural areas, low to mid 60s. That's because some cloud cover is moving in. And with that comes a chance for lightning. I think we have a setup coming up tonight where some of you see lightning, wake up to thunder. That sometimes only happens once a summer here. But you may talk to your friend tomorrow, texting probably, and they'll say, I don't know, I slept through it, nothing happened on my side of town. It's going to be patchy, but I think the best chance is around midnight to 4 a.m., somewhere in there. And then not as hot tomorrow, some cooler ocean air moves in. All right, the red flag warning Pete was just talking about in Nora. Look at all this area in red. That includes the I-5 corridor up into the Cascades and into central and eastern Oregon because of those isolated thunderstorms could ignite fires. And look how many lightning strikes we have. Across the southern half of the state, we've seen about 100 lightning strikes every 30 minutes. So far, these storms have been staying in the southern half of Oregon. One is trying to keep going right around Sweet Home, but all the rest of them are south and east of Eugene. You can see southern Deschutes County getting the lightning. We think the leftovers of this will continue moving north. And all of our models after, like I said, 11, 12, 1 a.m., right in here. I mean, it's not like a huge outbreak, but we could get a bunch of flashes, and that would not be good news over the national forests. But then, again, tomorrow, sunshine. Okay, so overnight thunderstorms. To wrap it up, we're going to see some isolated storms. It could pop up really anywhere, even at the coastline. It is a possibility, smaller chance, lesser chance there. But some of us get it, some of us don't. They will not be severe, but there could be spots of quite a bit of lightning. How much rain? If you get right under one, it's possible you have a brief downpour for a few minutes, but some storms may pass overhead with just a sprinkle. Of course, that's bad news up in the forest. So the coastline for tomorrow. We think it'll be partly cloudy out there, areas of fog, a little cooler, 70 on the north coast, mid-60s on the central coast. Here in the valleys tomorrow, looks mainly sunny, not as hot. I think we'll top out upper 80s to right around 90, a little more reasonable than today. Not as hot in the gorge, and look at that wind push the cooler, well, kind of cooler air into the west end of the gorge. Still close to 100 out at the Dalles, but the west wind will arrive there later in the day as well, cooling you off. Government Camp, a little cooler tomorrow, but still 82 degrees. And there's a slight chance for a thunderstorm there. And east of the Cascades, we have a slight chance for thunder. Just a few isolated storms pop up. Another very hot day as the heat wave does not end until probably sometime next week over there. Okay, tomorrow, actually, I forgot to take the red off. Tomorrow's not a first alert day because we think it will be about 90, 3-day forecast. Upper 80s Thursday and Friday, very warm. I think we'll warm it up a little more on Saturday into the low to mid 90s. And then cool off. If we get lucky, we get close to normal at the beginning of next week. I got to tell you, though, no sign of cool and wet weather anytime in the next 10 days. So this heat is going to continue.